I find, as I'm going through all my different challenges in life, that one thing that happens to me is, it could be a big project at work that went south. It could be a family member breaking a leg or an illness or whatever you're talking about. I find I have this enormous amount of energy and intuitiveness. I can get through it and I can make it happen. And then when it's done, and I've scaled the mountain, I've taken care of everybody and everything else, I sort of just go, bam. I'm exhausted, I'm wasted, there's nothing good about me whatsoever. Here's my question. Does it happen to you? And if it does, what do you do to heal yourself so you're back up being the super mom or the person you need to be?
I just went through something like this. I had to go out of town on the very day, at the very moment that summer camp came about. So the registrations were due and I was scrambling because I forgot, I mixed up my days because, I was overscheduling myself like we do these days.
No.
And I thought, I know, never. So I said, okay. So I reached out to a friend. She couldn't be there. I'm like, oh, shoot. And then I reached out to another friend. She said, oh, I'm going out of town. I'm like, okay, this is a perfect storm here. I'm like, fine. So I called the lady at the camp and I said, I need your help. I can't physically be there. I'm not comfortable with submitting it ahead of time and getting it in the queue. What can you do? We've been there before. She said to me, just bring it in. I'll help you out. We'll make sure that you get covered. And they even called me the day of it because they had some questions and I was able to answer the phone, but I just couldn't be there. And it was wonderful and it helped. But after that, it was like this huge, like you said, I was like so bottled up. And then 2 days later after it was over, I just crashed. And I found that at 7 o'clock at night, I just fell asleep on the couch. I was done. But what I find in all that is I actually get proud of myself at the end of it because I got through it. I found a way. And that's something that I tell to people all the times in desperate times or moms that are having trouble. There's always someone around that you can turn to. There's always someone that will help you. And once I figured that out, things started to fall into place. And it was good. So, and I think to your point too is when you almost have to forgive yourself for those times too.
Yes, you do.
It's so important that we learn to forgive what mistakes we've made and even just what challenges, because being two people that are very high energy, we always feel that when we're not 100% high energy that we're failing and we've let ourselves down.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right because that was part of the reason I asked you is that, if I can do all of this, why can't I continue to do it?
Exactly.
And, what's funny is whether you have children or not, you still have certain responsibilities, and it might be that they're in some other area or not. But one thing I've noticed is that after it's all said and done, I learn almost a new lesson, and that is how to take care of myself because I need to. And for me, that's an entire life lesson. It probably is for a lot of people, where you're trying to figure out when to slow down and when not to. And one thing, and this is what's pretty funny, because you think with a child or without a child, your life is so different. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that.
It's not.
And just what was it like last weekend, Sally? Sally Gmail was texting me, and what are you doing? I'm like, washing the dishes.
Right.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, my big night is clean the closet.
Right.
And I said,
That was me.
well, I've just done 6 loads of laundry, and you're
Living the dream.
Right. We're living the dream. That's what she texted, we're living the dream. So, I think what I'm getting to is, in the workplace for women, we take on so much. We think we're superstars. We try to be the best and the most for everybody we can, every employee, every client. Even for us, we just rescued a cat that somehow got in the drain outside of our building. We called the maintenance men, help a cat, and we made them take this huge grate off and get the cat out. But, because we're healers and we're givers and we're caretakers. I think what all of us need to know really is to figure out that's fine. But how do we take care of ourselves? And not just after a crisis when we're begging for forgiveness and mercy and hoping we're good enough, but how do we take care of ourselves all of the time? And that, to me, is a very lifelong process. And honestly, that's part of what Driving with Judy is about, is learning to take care of myself. I'll be 62 in in a month. I'm saving up for all the facial work like Jane Fonda, and if I didn't mind anesthesia, it would all be done. I'd look 22. But regardless, you know? I think we're fighting the same battles a lot, and I think that we have a lot of the same issues. And for one that doesn't have the child, maybe I'm reaching out and taking care of my nephews. Or maybe if I'm lucky enough, I'm one of your angels, your neighbors, your friends that says, I'll take care of her for 6 hours. Go get your nails done,
Right.
whatever it is. And that's where I think that's what I think is important that we all recognize about each other, is that our challenges are still our challenges, but they're not that far apart. And what we really want to do and what we really want to grow from is learning to care for ourselves as well, while we're being these powerful business women, and while we're caring for our parents, our children, our neighbors, the kitties in the alley, whatever your love is, whatever your need is, we have to learn to take care of ourselves too.